Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about the functions, how you can create a functions and how you can call it inside your JS application. Function is a very important in any programming language. Functions is used to reuse your code. For example, do you want to display multiple lines of the code again and again? So you will write the console.log many times, right? But you can use the function, you can add the console.log inside the function, then you need to call it again and again, right? Inside the function you will use anything else. I will give you an example on later. This time you just need to know how you can create a function and how you can call it, right? So let's check it now. Create a function. So first thing is you need to write the function keyword, and then you need to write any name as you want. For example, I'm going to use my fun. This is my function name. Then I'm going to use parentheses. After the parentheses you need to write the curly brackets. Hit enter. So this is your function. Inside the function, this is starting and this is a closing curly bracket. Inside there you will write anything else you can do there. You can use variables, you can create arrays. We will learn the arrays loops on later. This time you need to know how you can create a function, right? So inside the curly bracket I just need to use the console.log and write some text. Then we're gonna call it to display the data inside our console screen. So let's do that. I will use console.log and this is my function, right? So I want to display this one data inside my console screen. So you need to call the function, call, or you can say that invoke. You can say that all of the words as you want. So you need to use my fun, parentheses and terminator. Once you add that, save it, and then you will able to see this is my function. Text will appear inside my console screen right now. This is my function, right? So this is a normal way to create a function and call it outside of the function, right? So this is a body of the function. Outside of there you need to call it, right? But I want to call it again and again. I can do that. I just copy and paste. I can do that. I will see many times this code will repeat on my console screen. So let's check it now. As you can see, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, right? So this is a normal way to create a function and call the function. Let's check it now. Function with parameters, or you can say that arguments. So the function with parameter is similar, but inside the parentheses you need to pass the parameter, right? So let's see. Use function. I'm going to use my fun, same name. I'm going to use same name, parentheses, curly bracket. Inside the parentheses you need to pass the parameter. This is a call function with parameters, or you can say that function with arguments. Inside there you need to pass many parameters as you want. For example, I want to pass 2 parameters, so I need to use a, b. If you want to change the name you can do that. You can use input and second, you can do that, right? But I'm going to use a and b, right? So inside the curly bracket, inside the function body, I'm going to use the console.log and I'm going to use template string, and the value is colon I'm going to use the a variable or a parameter inside there, and then I'm going to use and second value is b, right? So I will use same comment. So I'm going to call the function myFun parenthesis. Inside there we need to pass two values. You can pass the integer, you can do that. You can pass string value, you can do that, right? So let's check it now. So I'm gonna add the value like this is my first value, so I'm gonna use double quotation and I'm gonna use programmer. So after the double quotation you need to use comma, right? This value will assign on a variable. In the a variable have this value, right? But I will use another value like programmer terminator sign. So this value will assign an a variable or a parameter, and programmer value will appear or assign in the b variable. Then you will able to see this is the first value is programmer. Inside the a you will able to see this value. The second value is a b, you will able to see blogger. So let's see for the page. As you can see, the first value is a programmer and second value is a blogger, right? So I'm gonna comment that. Let's check it now with assigning another value. So I'm gonna use 10. I can assign the integer value as well. I can do that. Save. I enter for the page. The first value is 10 and second value is 10. I can assign. I can call it again and again with many parameters. As you can see, both functions are running and both functions values are changed now. Also, I think I do not try it, but I will check it now. It's working or not. I'm going to use true, false. So let's check it now. It's working. Yes. This is a boolean value. You can pass boolean value also on the functions, right? So this is a function with parameters and this is a function with normal. Let's talk about the function with return keyword. So function with returns keyword. So I'm going to create a function myFun, and inside there I'm going to pass the parameter para, para2, right? So those are parameters. You can say that the values, right? You can assign any name as you want. So inside the function body I'm going to use I'm going to create a variable const result, assign the value like is. So I'm going to use backtext and para, and the first value is para and second value is para2. Okay, then I'm going to use the return keyword, which data you want to return. So I'm going to get the function, paste on there. So I'm going to call this one function, get that, paste on there. I'm going to use this one function myFun. I'm going to use first value is developer, and then second value is a marketer, right? So let's see what happened. Can't see anything else inside the console screen. Why? Because it is a return function that help us to return the data, right? So how you can display this data on the console screen? So the best way, you need to make a variable const display, write any name as you want. You can write any name, to create a variables. So I'm going to use the display and assign the function like this one, because this is a return function. So then you need to use console.log and use display. Then you will able to see this data will appear inside there, and those data will assign on the parameters of the function. So let's see. The first value is the developer and second value is a marketer, right? Also, I'm going to comment that. No, I'm going to get that and paste on there. I'm going to show you another way you can use the return keyword. So I made the variable, so I'm going to remove the variable and also equal sign, also result. So I need to get that and paste on there. I can do that. So you can use this one method or you can use this one method. You will able to see same result inside the console screen. So and for the page, as you can see, same thing. So inside there have a variable with the name of result, and then I have called it inside the return keyword. So in another function or another way, you can just call the return keyword and assign the value like this one. So this is the usage of function that help us to reuse our code. In future we will discuss them, how we can display the data, how we can assign the array loops inside the function, and then we're gonna just call the function one time, then we will get a lot of data inside our console screen or inside our application. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about function declaration versus expressions, right? So I already explained you how you can create a function, but I'm going to show you difference between declaration and versus expressions. So let's see. Function declaration. So I will create a function my fun, right? Curly bracket. So inside the function I will use the return keyword, and then I'm gonna calculate my edge, right? So I'm gonna use negative y. I'm gonna assign the parameter on the edge like this one, right? So then I'm going to call it by using variable. So I will create a variable edge calculate my fun, and inside there I'm going to assign the value, like my birthday is 199. Then I'm going to use console.log and edge calculate. Then you will able to see the result of the function, right? So this is a call function declaration, right? So let's see function expression. So first of all you need to write the function keyword and use parentheses. Inside there I'm going to use birth date, okay, birth year. I'm going to use curly brackets and I'm going to use return 2037 negative by birth year, right? But I need to create a variable and assign this one function. It is called function expression. So I'm going to create a function variable const edge call like this one. So you need to call it call function. Also I'm going to add that on there. So inside there I'm going to pass the parameter 1999 right? But first we're gonna set that, and let's see, 47 one value, but I need to use the, just a minute, I need to, okay, I'm gonna create a const result, and then I'm gonna paste my this one value, right? Then I'm gonna use console.log, and I'm gonna use result variable. Then you will able to see twice value will appear inside my console screen right now, as you can see. So this is a call function declaration, this is a call function expressions, right? What is different between them? So when you will create a function, you need to add the function name in function declaration, but when you will create a function expression, you don't need to add the function name. You need to make a variable and assign the function like this one, but the calling way is same. You just need to use same way to call it. Another thing is, I'm gonna comment that, I'm gonna get that and paste on there. I'm gonna show you another example. 47 two values that appear inside my console screen. Another difference between the declaration and also expression is, so I have called this one function after my function. After creating this one function, I have called this one function, but I get that and paste on there. Then after creating this one function, I can't see my calling function like this one. So before creating a function, I called it. So let's see what happened. I'm able to see same thing by creating a function declaration, but in function expression, just a minute, I get that, I call it before creating a function. So sir, and refresh the page, you are able to see the error. Why? Because the function expression is used to create a function. After creating a function, you need to call it after creating a function, but I pasted it before creating this one function, right? So I'm going to cut that, paste on there, and I'm going to cut that and paste on there, right? So this is a way to create a function declaration and create a function expressions. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In earlier we have discussed all about how you can create a functions, like normal function, functions with parameter, functions with return keyword. In this video we're going to discuss all about how you can create arrow function that will help us to write the single line of the code. Let me show you. I want to add the value, means I want to perform the operation like addition. So I'll use parentheses, write the name, you can write any name as you want, equal sign, greater than sign, and then I want to add the 10 value. I will pass any parameter inside there, then I want to add the 10 value. On any parameter I will assign the value. Addition by right. So this is my arrow function, but I want to display the data inside my console screen, so we need to add the complete function inside our variable. So I will create a variable like addition, assign that complete function. I want to display the data inside my console screen, so I need to use console.log and addition. Use parentheses. We need to pass the value on there. The value will assign on this one variable or this one parameter. This parameter will this is calculate, and we will get the result on the console screen. So I'm going to use the 50 on there, and we will able to see 60 will appear inside our console screen right now, as you can see. So this is a call arrow function with single line. So inside there I have passed one parameter. Also you can use this way, constant result, and you need to use there and call the, you will able to see same thing, right? So which method you like, you can use that. Okay, so I'm gonna comment that. Let's see another function. So I want to perform the another operation like multiplication. So I will use const, I will use from scratch to creating a variable. So I'm going to use multiplication, assign that. So I need to create a function with arrow. I use multi 10 times by multi, right? Then I need to create another variable like result, assign the function, and pass the one value. Then we're gonna get that on the console screen. So let's see, 50, right? Very simple way to create a arrow function. Let's talk about how we can pass the multiple parameters and how we can perform the operations like subtraction, addition, and so on. So I will create a const, and I want to get the age and also retirement year. So let's see, I will create a years until retirement. Equal sign, we need to pass two parameters. So I'm going to use first name, the employee name, comma, year, birth year. So we need to use equal sign, greater than sign, curly brackets. So inside the curly brackets we need to add the parameters. So let's see how we can add that. So I will create a const age. This is my age variable. Assign the value 2037 negative by birth year. When I will assign the value on the birth year, then the birth year subtract by 2030, then this value will assign on this one variable const. So I want to calculate the retirement age, so I will use retirement, and then I need to assign the value how many years employee will work on the any company or any government institute. So I will use the 60 years negative by your particular age, right? Then I will use the return keyword, back tags, so dollar. I'm going to pass the parameter like first name. I will assign the value on the first name, then this value will assign on there, retires in the retirement year, like this way, right? So I want to call this one function. So I already explained you how you can call that. So you can add this one value inside the variable, and you can call the variable on the console screen. Also you can direct call that on console screen. So first I'm going to use the const result and years of that, pass two parameters. The first one is your first name, so I'm going to use John. The second parameter we need to use the year of the birth, 1999. So this value will assign on birth year, this value will assign on the first name. So those values are returned, and we will display the data inside the console screen. So let's see the console of results, and let's see output of this one. John retires in 199. Also you can call it multiple times, you can do that, but this time I'm going to comment that I will use console.log, and I'm gonna get this one without equal sign because I don't need that. So I will use John, and you have the birth 199, feather, same thing, right? Let's add another. So Williams, the Williams date of birth is 1985. So let's see, Williams retires in, okay, what happened on there? Oh, sorry for that guys, we need to pause this one video on there. Right, as you can see, 30 years Jones retired, and 13 years Williams retires in 8 years, right? So we are able to see the arrow functions. So I hope you understood as well how you can use the arrow function. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about how you can call the function inside the function. It is very important. Means you have a bunch of code inside the function, and do you want to repeat the function many times, so you have a bunch of codes. But do you want to create a specific function inside the function you have defined the code, then you can call it many times as you want, so your code will reduce and your application will running smoothly on the web. So let me give you an example on that, how you can create a function and how you can call the function inside the function. So let's see, employee data. So I'm going to create a function, employee data, parentheses. I'm going to pass the parameter like first name and email and age. Right. So inside there I will create a const, and first of all I'm gonna calculate the age. My age is 27 negative age, right? So it will give me a current age on this year. Right, then I'm gonna use the return keyword and backtext template string. So I'm gonna use, hey, I am first name, my email is email, and I'm my age, like this one. This will give me age. So this is my normal function that help us to display the data inside my console scheme, but we need to call that. So function, so we create a variable result and assign the employee data function, parentheses inside there. But why I need to use that, I just use that. And the first name I'm going to use John, email is abc@gmail.com, and I'm going to use the value of the year. I will use the year, birth year, right? So I will use that on there. So let's see, also we need to call it by using console scheme. Right, so let's see, hey, I'm a John, my email is abc@gmail.com. I am a 47 years old. Okay, perfect. So right, so let's create another function. I will same thing, but this time I'm going to add another parameter like skills, right? Inside there I'm going to add another skills, and I'm going to add the here I am a first name, my name is Emma, my email is email, my expertise is, and I'm going to use the skills, right? So I want to call this one function. So this is a 3 parameter function, so I already mentioned on there. So let's create a const result2, and inside there I'm going to add that Williams abc@hotmail.com, and this will give us 198, and finally we need to use the skill is JavaScript. Okay, so I'm going to call the result2, right? So this function is get the 3 parameter, this function will get the 4 parameters. So I'm going to show you the usage of the, so the both functions. So I'm going to leave this one because I just show you the one by one. Hello, I am a Williams, my email is like this one, I am a 39 years old, like this, my expertise is JavaScript, right? So in both functions I've used this one value. I have repeated the values like my age, 20, 30, and like this one, but I want to leave that, so I will create a function to manage this one repetition. So do you want to call it again and again, for example copy and paste, so you have 3 times repetition on there, right? So in situation you need to create another separate function that will help us to reduce your code. So let's see, age calculation. So I'm going to create a function age calculation, write any name as you want, parentheses you need to pass the value on there. You need to call the return, and the return I'm going to use 2037 negative by our age, you can say that birth year. This is a separate with another parameters. So on there I need to remove that and call this one function, use parentheses and pass this one value on there, right? So I don't need to use again and again like this one value. I just call the function on there like this one. I need to call again function on there. That's it, save, and you will get the same result like this one, but my code is reduced now. If you want to change the year, for example during this time, for example have a 2040, save, and you will get different result like this one. You don't need to change the 3 lines of code, you just change 1 line code right now. So very simple way to call the function inside the function. So how does work it, you know? So this parameter is assigned on there and get the return value on there. So I have called this one function on there, and this function will assign on the my age variable. Don't focus on there, just I'm going to comment that. I'm going to show you. So when I call this one function on there, and I have passed this one value on there, so the complete value will assign on there. What this mean? So just a minute, I'm going to get that, and I'm going to give you an example on that. So copy and paste on there, and I'm going to show you how does I get right. So this value, just a minute, here is a, so this value will assign on there, right, and this value will assign on my calling function. So when I also get that, just a minute, I will undo that and I'm going to show you how it does work it. Paste it, and I need to get all of the code like this one and paste on there. Also I need to get this one value like this one and paste on there. So first of all, I made this one variable function that help us to display the data. Inside this one function, I've used the age calculation function, right? So in the age calculation function have a birth year parameter. This parameter will assign on there to return the data with on this value. So inside this one function, I have called it age calculation and passed the parameter like birth year like this one. When I assign this one value on there, this value will assign on this one parameter, and this value will assign on this one parameter. So this function will assign on the value on there, so this value will assign on there, right? So you will able to see this value will appear on my console screen like this one, right? Very simple. So this is the first, and when you will return it, this is second, and this is the third when you will pass parameter on the another function, and this is the fourth section like this one here, and this is the fifth to display the data inside our console screen, right? So this parameter, the calling or return the parameter value on the return keyword by using negative value by 2014 to get the age, and create a variable age calculation, call the function like age calculation and pass the parameter. This parameter is the different on this one. You're going to change the name, you can do that, right? So this is the overflow of the complete way to calling the function inside the function, right? So I hope you are understood as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's review our function that we are built on earlier. In this video, we're going to discuss all about how we can create a function and how we can call it. But this time I'm going to add the statements like if else statement to check the conditions. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So let's work on that. So I'm going to create a function like a check age. So I'm going to use function check age, pass the parameter like year. You can write any name as you want. So inside there I'm going to create a variable const age, the time period of this one, and negative by year, right? So it will give me the particular year of this time period, you know. Then I also use const retirement, which is default. I'm going to use 65 negative by our current age, right? Then I'm going to use if statement, and then I'm going to select my this one age variable. The age variable less than or equal to 65, then who can retire that, otherwise who can't do that. So inside there I will use return keyword and I'm going to use a retirement age variable like this one. And the else statement, I'm going to use return. So return, you can't, sorry, you can't retire on this time, right? So this is my simple function that help us to check the age, check the age, and also have a validation, some validation like the age limitation is the 65 years. So let's check display employee values, and then I'm going to use the function like function display data, pass parameter like first name, and then this time I'm going to use skills, and also I'm going to use position, and you can write any name, and final one I will use date. I'm going to use date. Yeah, okay. So both parameters are different, don't focus on them because I've used single line, I've used them with different functions. Okay, so first of all I will use the const and create a variable age limitation. Inside there I need to call this one function that help us to check the validations inside my age. So inside the parentheses you need to pass this one parameter, right? Then I'm gonna use simple statement on there. I just use return backtext, hey, the first name, your position is, and my position you can retire on hash. So I'm going to use the age limitation variable like this one. This variable will help us to check the value. If the value is less than or equal to 65, then who will able to see the value will appear inside our console screen, otherwise we will able to see this one message, right? So let's see, I'm going to use console, I'll create a const result variable and display data. First name I'm going to use John, position is the developer, and here I'm going to use 1999. So, and then I'm going to open it, just a minute. So we're gonna discuss them, just a minute. Okay, so I opened that on my, so refresh the page. Okay, just a minute, I need to call that on my console screen. So there's a variable, then you will able to see, hey John, your position is developer, you can retire on after 18 years, right? Very simple. But I will increase the, I will decrease that 190 at 8 years, but when I use that will be 77. As you can see, hey John, your position is developer, you can retire, but I'm able to see another message, sorry, you can't retire, and this time this message is appeared inside my console screen. Why? Because the developer or John age is a greater than of the 65. So let's look at that on there, where I'm gonna just a minute, I'm gonna check the, okay, so I'm gonna pass the parameter also on there. So I think we should see, yes, this one values appear on there, right? So this is the usage of the if statement inside there. Another thing is very important. I want to display the message, but this time I'm going to use that 1990, right? But before return the keyword, I want to display the message. So first I'm going to show you. After that I'm going to use console.log and I'm going to use version, right? So once the if statement is this block is running, means our first condition is true, like this one, then we will able to see this one data. But I use the return keyword, I can't see this one message. Why? Because the JavaScript is running top and bottom. And also when you will use the return keyword, then it will display the data before displaying any other data. So let's try it now. As you can see, hedge on your position is developer, you can retire on 18 years. Your age is 1999, like this one. But I cut that and paste on there before the return keyword, then you will able to see this one message, congratulations, right? So when you will use return keyword, after the return keyword you will write anything else you can't see on the console screen. This is very important, right? But before using return keyword you need to use that, then you will able to see particular code on the console screen or on the console screen. So I hope you understood as well all about the reusing the code. Also we will learn that a lot of things inside the function on later. This time I just show you how you can use that. So let's look at that our slides to understanding the so we have learned three data types functions. And the first one is function declaration, second one is the function expression. Inside there we have stored the data inside of a variable, and third one is the arrow function, right? So those are three ways to create a function, but they all work in a similar way: to receive the data, transfer the data, and also output of the data. Let's look at that our simple diagram on there. So after creating a function, this is the function keyword and this is the implied name. Implied data is a function name, right? And those are inside the parentheses, those are parameter. You can also say that placeholder to receive the values, like a local variable of the function. And this is the in green line or green border have a function body. So this is the curly bracket starting, this is the curly bracket closing. Inside there it is called body of the function. Block of the code that we want to reuse that, right? And this is the return keyword. You know, I have explained you how you can use that, and this return keyword will help us to display the data as soon as possible before or after assigning any value. After the return keyword you can't see that, okay? Return statement to output a value from the function and terminate execution, means close the execution when you will use return keyword. After the return keyword you will write anything else, then you can't see any other code after the execution of the return keyword or after displaying the return data on the console screen. Finally, inside the parentheses you need to call the function, calling, running, or you can say that invoking the function by using parentheses. Write the function name and use parentheses. So this is a way to create a function. So I hope you understood as well all about the functions, but don't worry, we will learn them, we will use them on later many times. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, welcome back. After learning the basic knowledge of JavaScript, then we need to know the little bit of advanced usage of JavaScript. So in this video I'm going to show you the default parameters inside the function. So you know how you can pass the parameters and how you can call the function outside of the function and how you can assign the value. You know, let me give you an example how you can create that. So I'm going to create a const courses and function parentheses calibrate. So inside the parentheses we need to pass the parameters: courses, course name, price, students, first I'm going to use, and price, right? Then I'm going to use console.log to display those data inside our student, yes, student and price, right? So I want to call this one function, so I need to get this one function, and we need to pass the value. So let's say I want to assign the value on the first one parameter, like a course name is JavaScript. So this value will assign on there and this value assign on there, means we will able to see the JavaScript. Let's say I will assign the another value, because inside the function have a 3 parameters, so we need to pass the 3 values. The students, I'm gonna add that will be 10, and the price, this is the 3rd parameter, so we need to assign the price 100. So you will able to see JavaScript 10 and 100 right now. So you know how you can pass the parameters and how you can call the function and assign the value, right? Very simple. But the thing is, I will call the function without assigning the parameter value. So what I need to do on the console screen, what we will see. So let's see. Undefined, undefined, undefined means I didn't assign the default value inside the parameters. I just call the function outside of the function. Then we will able to see undefined, undefined, undefined means false value. So do you want to assign the default value inside the parameter? So you can do that. So I'm going to show you 2 methods. So first I'm going to comment that, and the bad method, I'm going to show you the bad method. So you need to use course name, assign the value JavaScript, and students, the students is for example 10, and price will be, I'm going to use will be 100, right? So once you assign the parameter value inside the function, then you will able to see same thing like JavaScript 10, 100 without assigning the parameter value inside the function. So let's see, right? But the important thing is it is not good prefix in JavaScript. So I also comment that, and I'm going to show you important way and easy way. So comment that. So you know 2 methods. So this is a very simple and easy method. So inside the parameters, I want to assign the value on there. The first one is JavaScript, and student will be, let's say 10. Also I will use the expression on there. Let's say I want to times by students, how many students will enroll in my course. So I will times by, I'll use multiplication sign. Like let's say I will use the price of the course is $100 times by students. So if I have 10 students, 10 times by 100, we will get the 1000 result on the console screen. So let's see, JavaScript 10 and 1000, right? So this is a calling function without assigning the parameter, passing value inside the function. So let's say, So I have assigned the default value inside the parameters. Have a JavaScript, students have a 10, price have a 100, and times by students, right? But I want to change the course name. So what I need to do on there, I need to call the course, and I need to use the JavaScript, and also we need to pass another value like a student have a 10. So say I have a passing, I passed the two parameters inside there, JavaScript 10 and 1000, right? Let's say I comment that. Let's say I want to leave this one and I just target my students. So I want to update the student by calling the function. So how I can do that? Let's see. When I call the courses, and the first parameter I need to use undefined, means I leave this one, means I want to display the default value. So I need to use undefined. The second parameter I want to change that, I want to use 5 and use 7. Let's see. Right now this is default value of the function parameter, and this is my updated students, and this is the value, right? So you know the usage of default parameters and how you can override them. Finally, I will give you very important methods. You can create that inside the function. You can also create an object. So I'm going to show you how you can use that. So I'm going to create a const courses function parentheses. So I will use same thing, course name, price, and students. So the second one I will use student price, right? So also I will use the same, I will use the I will create an object on there. So this time I'm going to show you how you can assign the object bookings, and inside the object I will assign the keys. The keys are those parameters. I do not assign the values, remember that. So course, second key is students, and third key is price, right? Okay, after the object I want to call that console.log and booking, then say call the course. Let's see what happened. Right now I am able to see courses. This is a key, this is a key, this is a, but the values are undefined because I didn't assign the value inside my parameter. So let's say assign the value on the JavaScript. Students have like a 10, price assign the 100, times by students. So we will able to see different results. The course name is JavaScript, this is a key of the object, price is 100, and so on so far, right? You know how you can use the function, and how you can create an object inside there, and how you can pass the parameters inside the object. Okay, the next thing is very helpful and important to you. Let's say I want to create a variable, empty variable, empty array. So I'm going to create a const, and I'm going to use bookings. So this will be, I'm going to use booking, and inside there I'm going to use booking. So I want to pass those values inside my array. So what I need to do on there, I'm going to use bookings. We need to call the array, and we need to use .push, and what you want to push on there, I want to push the booking. So let's see, set it. You can't see, this is a default right now, but we need to target the bookings array. So let's see, I want to use console.log bookings And so let's see. Right now I'm able to see, as you can see, this is 0 index, and the 0 index have a key, course name, JavaScript, price 100, student and many other things. Let's say I want to display only JavaScript, so I need to use the array, and I need to target the key like course name. So this is the index number and this is a key of this one. So let's see, as you can see. So you know how you can check the default parameters. This video is all about the default parameters in function, but I have explained you different ways to passing the parameters inside the function and how you can use them outside of the function and how you can assign the default values and how you can manage them. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's look at that, the callback functions and also returning the functions. So you know how you can create a function and call the function outside of the function body, but I'm going to show you how you can use callback function. It's very simple and we have used that inside our add event listener. When user will click on the button, then we're going to call the callback function. So let me give you an example how you can use callback function. So the first thing is I'm going to create a normal function that will help us to display the, let's say I will use lowercase function that will help us to display the lowercase, but inside it I need to pass the parameter return str dot to lowercase. This is the function that will help us. This is also function, guys. This function is a help us to display the lowercase. So I'm going to call that console.log and function name parentheses. Inside there I'm going to pass the uppercase characters. Let's say so, then we will able to see the lowercase characters inside our console screen right now, right? So we're going to create the same function, but this time I'm going to use the uppercase. This is a lowercase, sorry. Lowercase function, and this is our uppercase function, uppercase. So inside there we need to change the function like to uppercase, right? So, and when I will use the uppercase, so I will use JavaScript in the small lowercase character, then you will able to see this is the uppercase right now, right? So you know the creating a function and calling the function outside of there, but the important thing is callback function, right? So I will create another function that will help us to perform the operation, like I want to assign the value, then I want to display those value as a lowercase or uppercase by using callback function. So let's see, I will create another function, result function parentheses. Inside there I'm going to pass two parameters. The first parameter I will assign the text value, the second parameter I will assign the function. So let's see, I will use str. So those are different parameters, don't focus on the names, just focus on the usage, right? And then I'm gonna pass the second parameter is fn, use curly brackets. Inside there I'm gonna use return keyword, and then I will use the what? I will use the console.log because I want to display the data back text, and then I'm gonna use the result is $sign curly bracket. Inside there, first I'm going to use this way. The first parameter I will pass the function, the second one is str. So inside there I will pass this one parameter on there, right? Also we need to use parentheses. Inside the parentheses we need to pass the second parameter is str. So when I will call this one function, then we will able to call the callback function. So let's see. So let's look at the on console. You can't see any changes right now, but I will use the result parentheses. Inside there we need to pass the two parameters, right? Two parameters. Let's say I want to display the text as a JavaScript, but I want to display those text as uppercase. So I need to call this one function inside there. Use terminator sign. Don't need to use the parentheses inside there. So it is called callback function, right? So let's see. Fn is a null function. Okay, I think we need to check that. Just a minute. Okay, I will use another way. First I'm gonna pass the str and then fn. So I need to use that as fn and str. So I think it should be display. Yes, it's working very well. So this is our text, and the text is appeared as uppercase. So let's see. This parameter is assigned on the strn, and this function is a callback. This parameter is assigned on the fn. So when I call this one on the console screen, you will able to see this one result on there, right? So let's see. I want to display the lowercase character as a uppercase, so I need to call the uppercase function. Okay, I will use that uppercase, and I want to display those text as a lowercase. So let's see. Right now this is the second result, right? So let's look at that by using button event. So set type will be button, and class I'm going to use button. So let's use the callback function inside there. So I'm going to comment that. I'm going to create a function. When user click on the button, right? So this function is help us to when user will click on the button, right? So let's see. I will use document.query selector. We need to target my btn, the btn class name. Then I need to use add event listener. Which event? I will use the click event, and then we need to pass the parameter function. So you can use this way, but I will use the callback function. So like this one. Then when user will click on the button, then you will able to see the data like this one. So it is called callback function, right guys? So let's look at that, the very simple way to use this way. So let's see. So I have used the same thing on there where there. So this is a call this way, right? And the second parameter like this way, right? So you know, let's look at that, the return keyword, I mean return function. So so I will create a function like I'm gonna use, okay, I'm gonna create a function const courses, and okay, I think okay, parentheses, curly bracket, return we are learning JavaScript, right? When I call the function, then we will able to see that we are learning JavaScript inside our console screen, right? Just a minute. Okay, but I will pass the parameter on there, guys. In just a minute, I'm going to show you str, and return str. So courses parentheses passing the parameter we are learning JavaScript, right? Very simple function that help us to display the data. So it is called return function, right? But you can also return the another function inside this one function. You can do that. Let's see. So I'm going to comment that, and I'm going to create a const courses function. Inside there I'm going to use student name, use curly brackets. Inside there we need to pass the return keyword. Inside the return keyword, and earlier we have used the str, means this one parameter, like that. But I will use that function, the return function. Which function? You don't need to use any name inside there. I just passing the parameter on there. Inside there I will pass another parameter like course name, use curly brackets. So inside there I will use the console.log. Inside the console.log I use the your name is, first I'm going to use backticks. Your name is, and first thing is we need to pass this one value on there. Your, and you are learning course name, right? So this is our function. This function is help us to return the another function, right? So I'm going to comment that. So I need to call the function courses parentheses. Inside the parentheses we need to pass the first one value. Let's say I will use the student name is John. The John is passed on the student name, but also we need to use the another parenthesis that help us to pass the another value inside our return function. So let's say I will use JavaScript. Then you will able to see your name is John and you are learning JavaScript. So let's look at that. As you can see, your name is John and you are learning JavaScript. So I've used the return keyword. Inside the return keyword I have passed the complete function. I can do that, right? So this is the usage of the callback function. You know how you can use that. And this is a call returning function. Inside the function you can return the another function. You can do that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's look at that, the call and apply method inside the JavaScript. So let's create a first, I'm going to create an object const courses, and then I will assign the course name will be JavaScript, and then I'm going to add that will be course code is 2K23. Then I will create a array. Also I will create a function that will help us to display the data. So I will use the function passing the parameter like student course number and student name, right? Use curly bracket, and I'm gonna display those data inside our console screen. So I just need to use backticks. Inside the backticks I will use dollar and student name, like this one parameter, booked dollar, this keyword, I'm going to use this keyword, course start name, this one value, and then I will use the code is, so I will use that this dot course code, and finally I will target my this one parameter inside there. So I will use the dollar course number, means over this data, and when I will pass the data inside our function, so those data will attach and display the data inside our console screen. So let's see how we can display the data inside our console screen. So I will target the book function that help us to display the data. So no, I need to target my courses dot book function. So inside there we need to pass the parameters. So as you can see, here is the parameters. So I need to pass the parameter like course number is 23 and student name is John. So when you will save it, then you will able to see student name is John, booked this dot course name is JavaScript, code is this dot course code is 2k23 and also 23, but I will change that 10, and also course number is will attach on this one. So let's see. As you can see, John booked JavaScript code is 2k23. This is my object code, and also have a 10. So I passed the 10 on there. Everything is clear on there, right? So let's add the value inside our array booking dot push. So inside there I'm gonna pass the first, I'm gonna use backticks, curly brackets. So I will use the course colon dollar, and then this dot course code, and then I will use the flight. Where is the flight? Sorry for that. We need to use course code, and also after the backticks I need to pass the value like student name. So first we're gonna save that and let's check it now it's working or not. Yes, everything is working clear, perfect. So where I will call the call function, and why we need to use the call function. So let me explain you. So let's see, I'll create a const courses 2. I will create another object with the name of courses 2, right? And I will use same thing like there. The course name is, I will change that like HTML CSS, and course code is 2k20. I will use 23f, right? And everything is clear on there, and everything is similar like that I've used on earlier like that, but I didn't use the function inside our next object, right? So what I need to do on there, I want to call this one function course. This is the object, this is the function. So I will use the const, and I will use display, and then I target my courses, this one object. Inside the object have a function with the name of book. Those data or this function data will assign on there. So let's call it console.log. No, I will just use display, this one function, and we need to pass the parameter, 2 parameters, you know. And earlier we have passed 2 parameters like 10 and John. This time I'm gonna pass the parameter value 15 and Simit. So let's see what happened on the console screen. So let's see. As you can see, type here can't read properties undefined reading course name, means you can't read the course name property after calling this one, right? Why? Because inside the object I've used this keyword. This keyword is work only on inside the object. You can't use this keyword outside of the object. So you can use the call method to solve the problem. You can use the call method to remove the error. Let's see how you can do it. So I'm going to comment that. Then I'm going to use the simple display.call, and we need to pass 3 parameters inside there. The first one is you need to pass this keyword, but replace the object name on there, right? Let's say here is this keyword course name, but I want to change that inside there, so I need to pass my second one object name on there. Then we need to pass the similar parameters like those parameters. So let's say I will use the 15 and Simit. Let's look at that. As you can see, guys, Simit booked a HTML CSS code, and this is my data. When you will call the function with the name of call, then you need to pass the current object name and pass the values. You are able to see everything is working similar like earlier. But the important thing is, in the next object we don't need to create a same function inside our courses 2 object. Let's say I will create assign another value. I can do that. So 30, and I'm gonna use that will be Williams. Let's see, Williams booked a HTML CSS code is like this one, right? Let's say I will create another course, so I will comment that, and I'm going to create a courses 3 const courses 3, and I will use the course name. I've used the same keys that I've used on earlier, like there, as you can see, course name same, course code is same, and booking is same. Those are keys I've used similar like those keys, but I change the values in the next one object. Also I will create another object courses 3, so I will change that will be SQL server, and course code is 2K15, and also I'll use booking and empty right now. So I will use same tactics that I've used on earlier, like this one, to display the data inside our console screen. So let's see, I will use the target the display. This is the object that have a function inside there. I need to target I just target that and call the call function. Inside there we need to pass the third object name that is there, and then also I will use the name Julie, and the first parameter I need to pass the code name, and the third parameter I need to pass the name like Julie, and save it. Let's look at that. Julie booked a SQL server, code is 2K15 and also 50, right? So this is a usage of call function that help us to remove this keyword and display the object name on there. When you will call it, you need to target your object name. You don't need to call this keyword inside there. Once you use that, then you don't need to use this keyword inside there, right? And also I have reduced the code by using by creating an object. As you can see, I've made the 3 objects, like first one, second one, and third one. In the first one have everything, but in the second one you can't find the object function, right? So this is the usage of a call function. Let's look at that. The first we're gonna save that and comment that. I just show you everything is clear on there. So let's look at that. The apply method is working similar like call method. So let's see. I will what I'm gonna do on there. Okay, I will use the const confirm course. So I will create an array and assign the course code is like 44, and then I will use the name will be Ricky, right? So I want to display the data inside our console screen, so I need to use the book display like this one, dot apply, and we need to pass the parameters like confirm course, right? And first we're gonna just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I need to pass the first one parameter on there like course 3, and the second parameter I need to pass the confirm course like this one here. So let's look at that. Wiki booked ISQL server code is 2k15, and this is my code. So this is a usage of call method and apply method. So inside there I have used the array and passed the value inside the confirm course. When you will call the apply function, you need to pass the object name and also the array. You are able to see everything is working similar like earlier, right? So I hope you are understood as well how you can use the call method and how you can use the apply method. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, let's look at that, the bind method. So it is very important and very helpful to use it inside the JavaScript. So let me give you an example how you can use the bind method. First of all, I'm going to show you so this is a normal code that I have used on earlier, but this time I'm going to show you how you can use the same code to use the bind method. Also, I will give you an example how to use that on add evalence now. So first of all, I will display the data inside my console screen. So I will use courses, the object name, and inside there have a function that help us to display the data. So I need to pass the parameters. So first parameter we need to pass the number of courses, and then the second parameter we need to pass the name. Then you will able to see the data will appear inside our console screen like this one, right? So this is a normal way. The second way, I want to call the second one object data, so I will use the call method, right? So I will create a const display and I will assign this one object, this one function. So we will use the display variable to display the data inside our console. Means I have assigned the complete function inside this one variable, right? So I want to call the courses too, so I need to use display dot call. So we need to pass the 3 parameters. The first parameter we need to replace this keyword to our object name. So I will use object name is courses2 because I want to display those data. The second parameter I need to pass on there will be a number. Number represent is course number. Third parameter is we need to pass the username or student name. So you will able to see same thing. Simit booked but the course name is different. HTML and CSS also is the code is different, right? So let's look at that. The bind method. Bind method is used to assign the value without replacing the object name. Let me give you an example on that. So I will create a const and use bind method. This is my new variable, you can say that. Then I will use the display, this one function, and then I'm going to use the dot bind. So inside there we need to pass only one parameter, which data you want to display inside the console scheme. Let's say I want to display the courses 2 data, courses 2 object data. So I just need to pass the courses 2 object data. Then we're gonna use this one function with 2 parameter, bind method, and inside there we need to pass 2 parameters. The first one is your course number. Let's say I will use 50, and the username is student name is Williams. So save, and let's look at that. Williams booked a HTML and CSS course. Let's say I want to change that as a third object. So as you can see, Williams booked a React code is 2K, like this one, right? So this is the usage of bind method. Let me give you another example. Let's say I have passed on there will be two parameter, but I want to assign this one parameter default value. So I will use also bind method. So let's say I will give it const. I will use a result display dot bind, and we need to pass the object name, which object you want to use that to display the data. Let's say I will target the 3 object, and also I will use the comma. Then I need to pass the parameter. The first one parameter is course number, so I will use 100. Then we just use the result variable or result function to pass the only one parameter that will help us to display the name. So let's say I'm going to use that will be robots. So this parameter will assign on the default value on the course number, and the course object is represent your current object name that will help us to display the data. Let's see, robots booked a React course. A React code is like this one, right? So this is another usage of bind method. Let's look at that another way to use the bind method. So first of all, I'm going to show you important thing. So I will target my current object like courses 3. So inside there I will use the another key, so number of students. But before using that, I'm going to use console.log, and I'm going to target my courses 3. So let's look at that. Have a booking, course name, course code, and course name, right? So once I add the value, how can I add the value? You need to target the current object name dot, and once you add the dot, then you need to assign the key name. So I'm going to use number of students and assign the value 10. Then I will target this one. After this one, then you will able to see number of students is appear inside the object with course 3, right? Very simple. But the important thing is I will use the add event listener. So I have a button inside our HTML document like this one, as you can see inside our center of the advanced usage of functions, and have a button. So I will use the event listener inside our button. But before using event, I will use courses 3, and I will add another key like generate student. So this key will assign on the courses 3 object. Also I will use the function on there when this is a key and this is value inside the object, right? So inside there I will use the console.log, and I just target this. First we're gonna save that, and let's look at that. First we're gonna copy it. I will also comment this one line because I just show you. Save, and also I will comment all of that because the focus is on this one section, right? So I will use console.log courses 3, and so let's look at that. Right now, as you can see, generate student have a key, and this is my function that is built on this time. But also I will use this one and comment because I also use this one. Right now have a number of student 10. So when I will use this keyword means I target my courses object, right? Very simple. You know how you can target the current object. You know, and earlier we have used this keyword means I target this, means this object course name, right? So I will use that will be this dot number of students, like this one, plus, and also I will use console.log this dot number of students, right? So when I will click on the button, then I want to increment the value inside my number of students, right? So this function is help us to increase the number of the students that is there. And first we're gonna save that, and let's look at that. So this is a function that help us to generate the number of students when user will click on the button. So let's work on the button. So I will use document.query selector, and we need to select the btn class and add ML listener, and which event you will use. I will use the click event, and we need to target this one function that has appeared inside our courses 3 object inside there, you know, as you can see. So we just need to get that and paste on there. Also we need to use the courses 3 dot, because just a minute, courses 3 inside have a function with the name of generate student, like this one, right? So I'm gonna use parentheses. No, we don't need to use parentheses, we just use terminator sign, and save it, and let's look at that what happened on the console screen. Just a minute. I click on that, so I can't get the current value, as you can see, and also I am able to see the current object is a button. JavaScript told me you have used this keyword means you have targeted the button, but I want to get my object data inside my console screen, right? So how you can solve that? You know, when I click on that, let's say I want to click on that, then I have called this one function, let's see, generate students right now, as you can see. But the JavaScript don't understand that. When I click on that, then JavaScript told me button is your object name. I've used this keyword inside there, means JavaScript told me this means your button name, but I want to get my data from my courses 3 object. So how I can do that? You know, very interesting part of this video. So inside there you need to use object name, generate student, your function name. Then you need to tell the JavaScript, no, I want to get my object data function. So you need to use dot bind just a minute. Generate students, yes, you need to use bind and parentheses. Inside the parentheses you need to tell them the JavaScript. This is object, we need to get the function with the name of generate student. So save, let's look at that. Click on that. As you can see, I'm able to see my current object and this is my data. Before clicking on the button, my number of students have a 10, but when I clicked on the button, then my student number is 11. You can click again, you will get the second one object and your student numbers are increased, right? So this is a called bind method. Without bind method, JavaScript don't understand that what you want to do on this situation. Then you need to use bind method and you need to tell the JavaScript we need to get the object data. Inside the object data have a function with the name of generate student, so we need to get this one data, right? So you need to use dot bind and object name. So guys, I hope you are understood as well how you can use the bind method. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.